Hello, my name's Jacob, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'd like to talk to you about a political philosophy that I'm terming techno-traditionalism. Let's get started. The modern world is a wonderful place. We always have water, we always have food, we always have the means of getting what we need and where we need to go. We have everything you would think we could possibly want, and yet so many of us are still so completely unhappy. You can see this. It's everywhere. People thrust themselves into meaningless pursuits, attempting to find some sort of meaning in their life that's become void of it, or has never had it. People argue on the internet. People argue on the internet about anything and everything. Not because it's important, but because humans have a need to find importance, to find meaning, to find something on which to define themselves. And in the modern world, this wonderful place of comfort and luxury, that doesn't exist. I would like to present to you the idea that the modern world, modern society, all of the creations of man with regard to our technology, the ways in which we live using our technology, all of it is an anesthetic. It numbs us to the pain. It helps us forget who we are, where we came from. Let's look at a couple of examples. So I'd like to start with television. I think television is a wonderful example of this. Sure, I mean, we all enjoy television. I'm not saying that's bad. It's not. It's fine. It's fine that we enjoy television. We enjoy stories. We enjoy it when we get to watch the hero struggle and in the end win out against the villain. The question becomes, why do we enjoy it so much? Because there are many people who seem to be, if not addicted, at least to be overusing the medium, right? Excuse me. Television numbs us. Television helps us forget the pain, the frustration, the loneliness, the emptiness of living in the modern world. Video games are another example. Except video games provide another thing for us, another layer on top of just simple numbing. Video games help us feel like we've accomplished something. Video games give us an avenue, an outlet for our competitive nature. You know, we play Call of Duty, we play Battlefield, we play League of Legends online, and we show what we're made of. Because by nature, that's who we are. Competitive creatures needing a chance to show their strength. And in the modern world, that opportunity is, in many ways, lacking. So we take it out that way. Another way that we find an avenue of expression for that, in particular, competitiveness, is through sports. However, I'd like you to turn your attention not to the athletes competing in sports events, but the fandom surrounding many popular sporting events. Let's take the NFL, for example. The NFL it's really cool. I'm not knocking the NFL. I think I enjoy it. I think some people out there maybe watching this video enjoy it more than I do, but it is great. There's this competitive drive. There's this need to have your team win, and that's what's interesting. What's interesting is that we get so fixated on the idea that one team is somehow better than the others, or more important than the others, or, you know, we give our loyalty to a team and then we root them on. We get a high, you know, almost, off of watching them win, and we feel sunken and defeated when they are defeated. Interestingly enough, we don't seem, for the most part, to choose our team based on any objective criteria. We choose our team based on geographic location, the team that's closest to you. And then their success or their failure becomes a part of our lives. I think that's really interesting. And I think that's one example of a way in which a human tribal behavior, the idea that that you need to stick with your tribe, an ancient, primitive human behavior, finds its outlet in the modern world. So, I'd like to talk about what it is that we're numbing ourselves to. The modern world is entirely unfulfilling for many people. There are some people who find fulfillment in it, and for them I say, great work, good for you. Many of us work long, exhausting 9-to-5 jobs, sitting in a cubicle, and waste our lives away never finding meaning, being drones for the man, or whatever it may be that you end up doing. Humans are not built to be like that. That's not how we were shaped. That's not what we were shaped for by millions of years of evolution. There are some ideologies, one in particular I'm thinking of right now is anarcho-primitivism, that says that the solution to the way to find that meaning, to find the soul of the human in the modern world, is to reject the modern world, to fight back against it, and more specifically to fight back against technology. Now, I reject that. I think that right there, the rejection of technology, is in and of itself a rejection of humanity. Humans are a very technological species. We don't have big claws and sharp teeth. We survived this long and have done as well as we have because of our ability to make tools and make use of technology. So what do we do? If we can abandon technology because it is who we are, and because those who abandon it, quickly become uncompetitive and then just lose out to larger groups of humans that do stay with technology, and therefore the ideology is self-defeating naturally, what do we do? If we can't do that, how do we fight back against the modern world and reclaim what was ours, the soul of what it means to be human? How do we find that meaning? The meaning that our ancestors used to find marching on the plains, staring up at the sky, that wonder, that sense of adventure. How do we find it again when everything around us is taken care of, is controlled? What do we do? I'd like to look at what I call the atheist paradox. You're probably well aware of atheism. If you're not, this is not the video in which I'm going to explain it to you. I find it interesting that atheism holds very, very, very tightly to the reality of the world, right? The idea behind atheism is that there is no evidence for a god or gods, and as such, we must necessarily reject any claims to the contrary without significant evidence to prove their existence. That sounds reasonable to me. However, the atheist then refuses to acknowledge the reality of the human need for a god or gods, of the human need to find meaning in meaningless circumstances. That is a reality. And I find it fascinating that the ideology of atheism, which holds so tightly on to reality, refuses to acknowledge it. Seems paradoxical. I think a lot of the modern world operates on the same premise. That here is what the practical reality is. And we lay it all out and we say, well, this is just how it is. And then we ignore the fact that being human means there is necessarily some reality created within us, shaped by our evolution, shaped by our past. There are things that we need to do, ways that we need to act that are not given proper room to run free. Instead, we're confined to cubicles and we spend our lives numbing ourselves to the pain of not getting to be human. Abandoning technology, however, is not the way to go. I think there is another way, that we can find the things. We can find the things that we need, the meaning that we need, the place that we need, the struggle that we need. Those are the things a human needs. I propose to you techno, as in technology, techno-traditionalism. A combining of modern science and technology with an understanding, furthered by science and technology, with an understanding that humanity was shaped by millions of years of evolution, pitted against the forces of nature, and that is who we are. We were not just teleported. We didn't just pop into this world as drones. That's not what we are. We need struggle. We need to prove ourselves. We need a place. We need a name. We need a valid identity, one that we've earned. We need meaning. We need community. We need a story. We need a narrative, something to tell others. That's who we are. We can have both. Thank you.